This is part 3 of these videos where we're looking at the production of Higher Laws, which is Calmer Collision's latest single. And the first couple videos, we looked at the drums and the guitars and the synths. And now I want to have a look at some of the vocals to show you how we kind of weaved some of the harmonies, including a look at the contributions from Eric Alcock, who is an incredible songwriter and a good friend of mine. So let's dive into Pro Tools now. This is the last video where we'll cover the vocals for Higher Laws. We've already looked at everything else, so let's just pick up from there. So there's the main vocal right here, which, you know, is pretty prominent in the song. So, do you see right through? David put in that really cool kind of delay in those spots just to fill in those gaps and that quarter delay. Oh, you know, which you don't hear very much of in the mix, but do you see it? Oh, it's there. It's subtle, but it's there. We tend to change textures in the vocals even as a song progresses. So what it would be in the beginning, by the way I lay my soul, is probably different than the chorus. Higher laws will heal us from. And it's got that bigger delay that you're still hearing right there. Then there's a double that happens in the pre-chorus and the choruses right there. But where things get a bit interesting is when you start to kind of hear them next to the background vocals. So I did this higher one right here, which is just like calling out certain lines. It's what I feel and what I know. So you can hear it by itself. 'Cause what I feel and what I know. 'Cause what I feel and what I know. Just kind of heard it there. It just, I don't know, felt good to me. Sometimes you just, when you're writing, you kind of randomly think of these lines and they just sort of stick with you throughout the production process. And yeah, I just put it down because of that. And you know, I know there's nothing left to be said. So it happens in both verses, and then it continues to happen. It doesn't happen in the pre-chorus of the first one. This life's almost, but it does in the second one. This life's almost done. You know, again, just to kind of give it a feel of progression as you're going through the song. So in the choruses, I'm a huge fan of vocal harmonies. So in the choruses, we've got this. High and low will heal us from ourselves. So, and next to the main. 'Cause high and low will heal us from ourselves. To me, harmonies are the sound of a record. You know, when you start putting vocal harmonies in, it really starts to sound more polished. That's just kind of always been the case for me. Now, those are the two that run through the first chorus and the second chorus. But then in the last chorus, Eric Alcock, who's a good friend of mine, another producer, a really successful writer and an artist in his own right, he sang on this track for me, doing some harmonies in the bridge and in the last chorus. So he sings a higher harmony from me. So if you remember this, so this is the harmony that we have. It's higher lows. But he comes in higher than that. It's higher lows will heal us from myself. If you hear it on its own. So he's doing a falsetto, which is, again, just like much higher than my parts. So they stack together quite nicely. High and lows will heal us from ourselves. But we are flawed, so you and I must. It starts to sound a bit more choral, you know, in some ways, almost like
like religious in a sense when you start stacking up, because it starts to sound more like a church choir, which I think for this song particularly is very much on point. If you hear that in context, if I show you sort of the second verse or the second chorus, but next to the third chorus, you can hear Eric in the top. It gives it that kind of, beautiful top end in the production, but it saves that kind of special moment for the end, which is always nice to sort of give a bit of a payoff for staying around to the last chorus. This right here, don't give it up. That's just a harmony going into the bridge. Don't give it up. Something to weigh down me going into the falsetto part there. Don't give it up. Right? In terms of what other stacks we have, I'll come down here first, because this is the other thing that Eric and I did, which are the O's in the bridge. So hear it on its own. So that's the two of us actually singing the same parts. If here's me. And then this is Eric, doubling my part. But then there is a higher part of that as well. So me and Eric. And I love that part. Like, Eric did such an amazing job. There's something in this part right here. It's got this haunting texture to his voice in the way that he sang it that just absolutely breaks my heart when I hear it. So when we stack them all together, the thing that I kind of like about it is that it creates this counter rhythm and melody in the song. So here. And so that starts in the bridge, but carries on into the chorus. So as you can see, its original purpose was actually to play against the main vocal. Higher laws will heal us from ourselves. Oh, oh, oh. So we are flawed, right? Like, it goes back and forth, which I like, again, to kind of like fill in the spaces and give it every moment its own bit of interest. That I think is a really powerful technique when you're producing something. And finally, there's this right here in the choruses. This is just, again, another counter rhythm. It was like completely unnecessary, but it is there. And I like that it does kind of what I was saying earlier about guitars, what the guitars and the mellotron and stuff are doing, where it adds just a bit of harmonic tension because it changes the harmonic structure overall, particularly in the second half. So that all kind of combines into something that is harmonically rich and, again, gives you a bit more kind of ear candy when you get to the doubled chorus at the very end of the song. So that's the production. That's all the ideas that we had and put together. But I mean, this is likely, you know, the culmination of hundreds of other ideas that got scrapped before this. That's just sort of the nature of making music. You know, what you end up hearing is the end result of just a ton of failed experiments. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed that and that it helped illuminate a bit of the process that a Comma Collision has. And again, that's, you know, myself and David Bottrill and Eric Alcock, you know, how everything was kind of worked together to make the song what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching.